The Greek philosopher Socrates died in 399 BC, 2,400 years ago. His crime was corrupting the youth and impiety, I believe, introducing the idea of new concepts and new gods. And we can see that, I guess, in parallels, without being too hyperbolic, with the whole Charlie Kirk thing. And I will state here, I wasn't a great fan. If I did bump into his stuff, I actually thought, yeah, pretty good arguments, well put and all that kind of stuff. So I enjoyed watching him perform. And I always have enjoyed sort of good, well put debate, scholarly debate, and the ability to have that sort of discourse. So fully supported that. So I've had to sit down for a couple of days with this because obviously immediately the response was people losing their minds, and it was very easy to do that too. Very easy to go with the great anger and retribution, and I think that was, you can kind of sense it, can't you? It's like there's a couple of days where everything was very frenetic. You know, we share this psychic space together, and whether we know it or not, there's an intricate web that connects us all. So when something like this happens, it sends a massive electric current down that, in one sense, and we all seem to be affected one way or another. So at times like that, the best thing you can do is try and find a bit of clear space and try and see what it is that you're actually looking at. And there's all these other responses as well. You know, they're still really angry about it, and I can see that, and I kind of like, I have to admit to taking a little bit of joy in seeing idiots that have gone and said stupid things getting sacked for the consequences of their own speech too. But the problem with that is that you see the energy of the event extrapolating and just going and keep on going, and doing its thing, you know, the whole anger, the whole outrage, the whole sort of revenge of it. So we have to admit that wherever we are on that spectrum of thought and opinion, we do get caught up in that argument very easily. And I also think that what we're seeing now is not that people are bad themselves, that they're uniquely evil or uniquely stupid. It's a consequence of where we are, particularly in relation to the way that we communicate now, the whole social media thing. It's all a LARP. It's all tipped toward extreme narcissism. You know, the irony of saying that through this sort of channel, of course, you know, it's like, I hope I'm not really looking for the attention. I've had enough attention. It doesn't always do what it's what you'd like it to do. So there's this sort of thing where everybody's meant to feel that they have to be part of one group or another, and that they have to align themselves with what they think is the correct opinion within that group. But the problem is that when it comes to things like this, somebody, you know, viscerally being butchered in front of a crowd of people, there's that kind of distance between the actual the horror and the reality of it, and the protection that these spaces give you to be able to say what you think it is that you want to say. But I really don't think that most of these people, most of them I'm saying, genuinely feel this way. I think they're just going through the motions, and they are finding out to their own unique horror that there are people that don't like what they have to say and won't put up with it anymore. So I'm trying to see a way through this, and I think that there are still perhaps 5 or 10% of people out there who genuinely do have a problem. They have a psychopathy which we cannot remedy at the moment. So we need to think no longer as well, no longer in terms of this right or left paradigm. I mean, we all know this as well, we should know it, but we need to really put that into practical perspective now, more so than ever before. We need to stop these games and get ground rules down, which is, it's not good. Political violence is not good. It's never going to be good. And you just need to go, yeah, that's a truth. If you can't do that, then you're going to have to be put to one side. We're going to have a quarantine. We're going to have to start distancing ourselves from these people. And the problem with that is that most of these types of personalities are extremely narcissistic. So it's difficult to disentangle yourself from them because they're hyper aware of the psychic environment and also of your relationship with them. But you need to do it. I did it in my life on a couple of main occasions when I was cancelled, and also through the COVID thing. Had to do it with people that had absolutely no degree of empathy or tolerance for anything apart from their own view. And still keep in touch with the majority of people, obviously, because they weren't that extreme. But when we're dealing with people that genuinely are proposing a violent solution to the problems that they have created, which is this idea that they're somehow victims for blowing somebody's head off in a public space, yet somehow still remain victims. That's clearly wrong. So I'm saying to all my mates, and if I'm there's not many of them left, but if there's any residual from my old life who have kind of been shaken up by this and can see that there's something here which is bigger than all of us, and that we can still have some power to address, then think about it. Think about your circle of friends. Think about what's real and what's not real. Think about the pretense that people make, the theatre that they create around themselves in order to be able to justify these extreme and anti-human positions, because that's what it is. It's not left or right, it's pro-humanity or against humanity, and that's it, stop and examine. Use the power that you have of your own personal witness to be able to look on the situation from above and see when you're getting trapped up in this thing. It's like, oh, I'm getting angry. Yeah. And that's all right. It's fine to be angry. It's fine to be outraged, or, it's even fine, ironically, for these people to momentarily think that, hooray, it's a great victory for our side. But then you have to examine that further and think, why am I thinking this way? And what's that doing? It's just ironically, it's causing the division that people try to place on people like Charlie Kirk, who are just actually trying to open a discussion with vibrant young minds who have often been already co-opted into a political ideology. It's not even political, it's just a kind of, it's a nihilistic hatred of humanity. That's what it is. And trying to get them through the powers of didactic reasoning that we do have to be able to pull themselves out of that space and live a free and loving future. That's all we really need, isn't it? Now I'm going fishing, so have a good day, you lot. Ciao for now.